Now, as you said, Kickstarter/news.
And continuing how we love many forms of media.
Yes, video games.
Dark
again.
Souls, which recently came out with Dark Souls 3, also announced through Kickstarter their Kickstarter of the board game Dark Souls.
Go
which,
figure.
as of now, in the few days it's been up, it's already at $2 million.
Which is a lot of dollars.
Yeah. I feel bad for them because I imagine this is one of those times when they're like, for stretch goals, they're like, oh God, we got to come up with something fast. They're going too fast for us. We can't come up with stretch goals quick enough.
Right.
But in essence, what the game plays is a lot like Dark Souls. You play as one of these four, like a knight, a warrior, and you got to fight go either explore or fight against bosses.
Cooperative, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And these bosses, are very punishing. Instead of using a grid system, they have called a node system. In essence, there's spots on a board. And pretty much you take a player's turn, and then the boss's turn. And what I like about it is the way the bosses actually work is there's a deck of 10 cards plus a super attack. You take 5 of those cards from the deck randomly to use as pretty much how the boss moves. And the super card gets moved in when the boss is halfway life. So if you think of video game mechanics, how usually boss starts acting differently.
Right, it's second form and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But what I thought was cool, because this is what I think, I haven't played any of the Dark Souls, I should mention.
Neither
but
have
I know the style of how they work, and something that probably would attract me if I ever get to them, is the way the game works is you're supposed to memorize the boss's movements. Like even some of the simpler games, like Monster Hunter has a similar mechanic when you're supposed to look and be like, okay, I recognize that he's going to do a lunge, or he's going to, set the entire place on fire, I should do this. And the game actually copies that. The 5 deck cards, you go through each time, and once you hit the bottom one, you don't reshuffle. You just flip the deck back over. So if you're paying attention, you should know what's coming up. So it really captures that much more strategizing and memorizing how the boss acts. But at the same time, because it's the 10 cards, and they can be in different orders, and once that super card gets in, you do shuffle, so you change the order up. You do have to actually pay attention to the boss. The boss isn't going to be like, oh, I got the dancer. He always starts with a lunge and always starts with this. Like, the lunge might not be in his moveset this round.
Right.
Which I really like, because that's one of the things I know that I think it draws a lot of people to the game, because it's you feel good about memorizing and learning how to dance with these bosses.
Yeah, well, there's a sense of progression. Like you can actually get better at it.
Right.
And learn from it.
And these bosses, after they move, will have strength, weaknesses on their left or right. So then you have to consider whether you want to go into attack and move out, because you can do more attacks and moves that uses up stamina. That's your life too. So. But in the demo they showed, it's very punishing. They both died. 2 people died against this one boss. So I think it seems, from what I've seen, it really captures what people desire from Dark Souls.
Powerful. And there's cool miniatures and stuff
too. Oh yeah,
right?
amazing. All based on actual bosses and characters.
Of course,
a lot of stretch goals, a lot of add-on bosses. I think all dragons, from what I saw.
With all those miniatures comes a high price.
Yes, more than the game, I believe.
Yeah, I hope it's $113. Unless you got the early bird, which is all gone.
Yeah, but I think that's just not £5 less.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah, it's in pounds.
Yes,
you can convert to US dollars, but yeah, that's quite a bit. I don't know what retail is going to be, but possibly more than that. I mean, of course, that their suggested retail, but still, that's pretty high. Like the most expensive game I can think of is like the Star Wars games from Fantasy Flight that go for about $100. So that's pretty big.
It is.
It's gotta have a lot of stuff in it. Clearly people are buying it.
It does, and it has a lot of. I mean, $2 million.
It's successful.
I
can't blame them for it.
And interesting enough, I know that if you're a retailer. And you buy their retail, they actually have exclusive add-ons just for retailers. So there's still going to be stuff that you're going to want to pay attention to when the game comes out if you back this.
Right. That's
overall, I think it's capturing what the game desires, still keeping, I think, in spirit with the game, and it looks a lot of fun. Even, like I said, I haven't played the Dark Souls game, and neither of you. I'm interested to try this out and give it a spin, and get kicked to the curb.
Yeah, I have it on. I have the first one on Steam, And someday we're gonna play it. I want to play it because I'm with you. I've heard everybody says great
The one
things
thing
about
I would love to see happen
Yeah.
is I don't know if do you know anything actually about the game?
I mean, vaguely.
Well, do you know that people can invade your game?
I didn't know about invading. I know you can kind of send each other help. Or
You can
something.
actually go into other people's games. I don't know how they vary between the versions.
Right.
And mess with them. And try to kill them and stuff.
So 2 people playing the board game next to each other.
Imagine in a tournament, if you die, you can pick up your character, just walk over to another game, just put it on a guy, I attack you.
It would be cool if there was drop-in co-op where someone could just come in halfway through. I'm here for reinforcements.
But this is interesting. I can't wait to see compared to, and some people do consider this part of the Soul series, Bloodborne.
Right.
Which
yeah.
we're getting a card game from a designer which we both love.
It will be interesting to see how the 2 compare. What they're because they're very the other one's Bloodborne is just a card game, and this is a big old miniatures thing.
So I think it's really cool, and I do think these are 2 video game properties that work perfectly in the board game world.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see.
I wonder if it's just a coincidence that they both. It probably was, but it seems like great timing.
Well, like I said, as far as I know, both people consider them part of the Soul series. I don't know if that means they're the same designers or something.
I think it's the same designer. But
so maybe he licensed them both. Maybe he saw I'll make one that's a simpler card game and one that's a heavy, miniatures. But we'll see.
That is Dark Souls. Yeah, big stuff. Yeah, we've kind of been avoiding because we knew about this for a couple weeks, but it just now went up on Kickstarter, so we're talking about it. Few other ones though that are much less high profile. This one is called Starving Artists.
Seems appropriate now that you just said compared to Dark Souls.
Right. So this is really cool. Basically, the idea is everybody's an artist and you're trying to make a living, literally in the game, by painting, and you will lose if you cannot make enough money to feed yourself. That is literally the.
So Ivan's doom.
Yes, our friend Ivan and coworker who
often starves his family.
Famous for starving his family in Agricola. So. You're collecting famous artwork, and like the game we talked about last week, Project Gallery, there are actual artworks in this game, but you're buying canvases, and the way that you finish them, you're painting them, quote unquote, they're basically square places missing, and you have to get the correct color cubes and put them there. Once you've done that, you can sell it, you can make money, and you're competing with everyone else for room in the marketplace to buy more canvas, to buy more paint, to sell enough to make money, to buy food. So I think it's a really funny concept and a very interesting take. Placing cubes is really smart.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's really cool to look at the picture. And I just want to mention, it seems really funny whenever a game about art comes up. Both of us are both like, "Oh boy!"
Yeah, I don't know why, it's just neat.
Yeah, we both get excited about it.
Sometimes, I'll look at it and I'll be like, "Oh, I've seen a bunch of these," but this one, they managed to find interesting spins on it a lot of the time. I don't know what it is, and there still aren't saturated that much. We don't have a ton of them.
You mean it's not Zombie Cthulhu?
Right.
I can't wait for that one. Zombie Artist.
Don't joke. They'll make it. It's gonna be the same thing, but Zombie
with
Mona
the Cthulhu
Lisa.
expansion.
Now that I'll buy. So this one goes for $29. Yeah, I was right, $29. So you can check that out. And then I have another one to tell you about, which is an RPG called Noirlandia. It
looks a little weird if you see the picture. When I first saw this, I thought you cut off the top and that's the bottom of the words.
No, it's just ink stains or something. It looks very X-Files fonty. Anyway, this is a role-playing game. Guess what? Based on noir and detectives and stuff like that. And I mean, that's the base. The theme is that. There's not much more to that. So normally, a lot of times, role-playing games I don't talk about as Kickstarters because it's just what the system does, but sometimes there's not as much to talk about. This game is pretty different. So there's no game master in this. Everyone kind of writes the story together, and and you actually write it down on index cards, and they suggest having a bulletin board and actually pinning things to the board.
We need some string.
Yeah, exactly. And you're together creating your characters from a card system they have and deciding what kind of city is this, what kind of mystery is this. And the way you progress, I think it's designed to be played in one-time sessions, is whatever the mystery is, you found a body or whatever, you make up a clue and you say what you think happened, and then you will roll dice and find out if that lead was good or not. And then you use that to go on to the next thing. And that's how you, and once you've solved a certain number of leads, you solve the crime and win the case.
First off, because this is the first time I've been hearing about it. Already a big fan, because I know one of my biggest issues that I've told you plenty of time about is I feel bad for you in particular, because you're usually the GM.
Which I enjoy, but sometimes you want to.
Well, because I want you to experience the other roles, and giving everyone the chance.
Yeah.
2, I love Noir. You love Noir, so that's no biggie.
Yeah.
And 3, it doesn't feel like. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong from your description. It's like it's still just Noir. It's not like Noir but Cthulhu.
No, as far as I know, it's pretty. Not crazy. Anything else mixed in there? They do have a couple scenarios that come with it. That you can use if you don't want to make everything from scratch, but I think they're all still that.
But I mean, giving you that almost come with limitations is sometimes nice.
Yeah.
Because we're so used to an RPG being like, all right, I now have psychic powers, and I can like.
I should say this is based on another RPG system called Questlandia, which I have not taken part of, but I assume it's the similar. I think this is where they got it from, but I'm much more interested in this noir theme too, which is kind of cool. So yeah, that is Noirland. That goes. It's for only $10. You can get the PDF.
That's pretty good.
And tiers go up for soft covers or extra stuff, but you can check that out. Finally, another non-traditional board game. Very non-traditional.
Yeah. This is a scroll that's actually designed for like if you go to Magic Tournaments and stuff, in which you have the playmat, a carrying case all in one. As you can see here, you actually have the playmat that has little magnets on the end, so it rolls up and clicks. Or in this case, it unrolls, and you can actually click the case off, and has room for like an entire deck, extra cards, dice, tokens, which to me is really nice, because I know for me a lot of times when I went to tournaments, it was sort of a pain to carry everything. And giving this nice case, and they actually did artwork on this. The picture you see is plain, but they actually did artwork like of, it's not Magic the Gathering, but they have a mountain, a plains, a forest, an island, a swamp. The colors, as well as a couple other things like based on like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff. Okay. And I think it's just a really nice. If you go to a lot of tournaments and stuff, it just seems to be something really nice to just be able to have this one tube.
No, that sounds awesome.
Everything.
I'll say it's only $10.
No, that's just for the playmat.
Oh, what? There's more stuff. Oh, there's stuff
for the case and the playmat is $65.
Oh, wait, what?
The playmat itself. If you just want the playmat, not the carrying case, is $10.
Does the playmat still have like the cool any magnets and stuff, or just a playmat?
I think it still has the magnets, but you don't get the case.
Oh, okay.
But still, I think that's pretty good. Like I said, if you go to a lot of tournaments and stuff.
True. No, that's true. If you're dedicated. Otherwise, I was like, I'll buy one for $10. It does sound really cool, though. I like the concept a lot.
No, I definitely. If I would go, I don't go as much anymore because I just don't have the time. But it would be something I would really look into.
Now we just need a solution for X-Wing.
No, we don't.
Just carry this
No,
around.
you know what we need a solution for? Arkham Horror.
There's no solution to Arkham Horror. It's the problem that will plague us forever. So that's Scroll Play. That's up. Those are our Kickstarter Pickstarters for the week.